On October 13th, 2025, the defending national champions returned to the floor. UConn 84, Boston College 67, and a scoreline that looked routine on paper. But beneath it lay a deeper story. A program standing at the threshold of transformation. A team without its generational star, Paige Bueckers. And a central question now to defining the new season. Can the Connecticut Huskies sustain their dynastic dominance without the player who wants to find it? Welcome to Prime Field. This is the story of a program rebuilding its identity in the wake of greatness. A dynasty reimagining itself under the immense pressure of its own legacy.
Prime Field!
For the first time since 2017, the University of Connecticut Huskies women's basketball program enters the season ranked number 1 in the nation. They are the defending national champions, the owners of a 12th NCAA title, and the undisputed team to beat. But this is a team standing at a profound crossroads. The architect of their last championship, generational talent Paige Bueckers, is gone. Her vacuum in leadership and production leaving behind the season's defining question. Can a dynasty built on a culture of relentless excellence sustain itself after the departure of a transcendent star? This is the story of the 2025 to 2026 UConn Huskies, a team armed with new weapons and burdened by the weight of its own history. It is a narrative not just about defending a title, but about forging a new identity under the immense pressure to prove that the empire is as strong as ever. The 2025-26 season begins not as a continuation, but as a test. For over 2 decades, UConn has symbolized consistency, a standard of excellence rarely seen in college athletics. 12 national championships, a culture of discipline, development, and dominance. But every dynasty reaches a crossroads. With Paige Bueckers now in the WNBA, and already named Rookie of the Year, the Huskies face the challenge of rediscovering what leadership means. This year, that responsibility falls to graduate guard Azzi Fudd, sophomore forward Sarah Strong, and senior transfer Serah Williams. Together they represent the foundation of UConn's new identity. An identity that must balance depth with chemistry, tradition with evolution, and talent with the weight of expectation. At the center stands Geno Auriemma, architect of one of the most successful dynasties in sports. For the first time in years, Auriemma faces what he calls a good problem. A fully healthy, deeply talented roster of 14, but with that depth comes new complexity. Finding the right combinations, maintaining a rhythm, and integrating new roles, it's a delicate process. As Auriemma put it, whenever you play that many players, the offense is going to suffer, at least in the beginning. His challenge this season is not rebuilding, it's redefining. And at the heart of that redefinition are 3 pivotal figures. Azzi Fudd, the veteran voice, a former prodigy whose career has been marked by perseverance through injury. She returned to Stores not for comfort, but for unfinished business. Her 20-point performance against Boston College, including a 15-point third-quarter surge, reminded fans why she was once the nation's top recruit. Serah Strong, the sophomore phenom, last season's WBCA Freshman of the Year, who set an NCAA tournament scoring record for a freshman. This fall, she returned as what her coach calls Serah Strong 2.0. More vocal, more assertive. Auriemma noted, every huddle that she's in, she's the one doing the talking. That would have never happened last season. And then Serah Williams, the new arrival from Wisconsin, a 19-point 10-rebound force. In her debut, Williams showcased a physicality and presence in the paint that the Huskies had long lacked. Together, Strong and Williams combined for 25 of UConn's first half points in the exhibition, the early signs of a front court built on connection and control. The story of this season began months earlier. In April 2025, the Huskies completed a 37-3 campaign, capturing their 12th national championship by defeating South Carolina in the title game. They ranked first nationally in scoring defense, 9th in scoring offense, and posted a staggering plus 29, 6-scoring margin, but statistical dominance even by UConn standards. But 2 off-season decisions reshaped the narrative entirely. The departure of Paige Bueckers left a vacuum in scoring and leadership, and the return of Azzi Fudd, once projected as a top WNBA pick, signaled a recommitment to the program's continuity. By October, the national polls reflected that stability. UConn opened the preseason ranked number 1 in the nation, earning 27 of 31 first-place votes, their first top ranking since 2017. Externally, the expectation was clear. Anything less than another championship would be failure. Internally, Auriemma's challenge was to transform that pressure into cohesion. The exhibition against Boston College served as both mirror and magnifier. UConn's offensive power was undeniable. 84 points on 49% shooting. The trio of Fudd, Strong, and Williams combined for 52 of them. The defense forced 14 steals, but the cracks were visible. 19 turnovers, disjointed possessions, periods of over-reliance on the starting unit. The signs of a team still searching for rhythm. Auriemma acknowledged the imbalance. He praised the team's intensity but noted the sloppy play that emerged as he rotated deeper into the bench. For a coach accustomed to 7-player rotations, this season's depth is both a blessing and a tactical puzzle. Yet amid the imperfections, something new is forming. A vocal, confident energy radiating from Serah Strong. Teammate Caroline Ducharme observed, "She's making a concerted effort to use her voice. It doesn't matter what she says because she has that presence." In a program defined by quiet excellence, Strong's emerging command was a visible shift in culture. The UConn dynasty has often revolved around singular figures. Taurasi, Stewart, Bueckers. This iteration may thrive through duality. The leadership structure between Fudd and Strong is not a conflict of eras, but a collaboration of purpose. Fudd, steady and seasoned, anchors the team through experience. Strong, young and vocal, injects immediacy and energy. Auriemma himself describes Strong's influence as authoritative, calm but compelling. It's a passing of the torch not from one star to another, but from a single voice to a shared command. This partnership mirrors the larger identity of the 2025-26 Huskies, a collective built on balance, where multiple leaders must coexist to uphold the standard left behind. If last season's story was defined by backcourt brilliance, this year's narrative may belong to the front court. The pairing of Serah Strong and Serah Williams, dubbed informally the Serah connection, has already begun to reshape UConn's offensive profile. Strong's versatility at the 4 and Williams' physicality in the post give the Huskies a new interior dimension, one they've lacked since the days of Nafisa Collier and Stephanie Dolson. Auriemma highlighted it early in preseason. They have a really good connection. Statistically, the duo's potential impact is significant. Strong shot nearly 59% from the field as a freshman. Williams brings a .493 field goal percentage and nearly 10 rebounds per game from Wisconsin. Together they represent both the present and the future. A fusion of development and import talent emblematic of modern roster construction in college basketball. The most formidable opponent facing UConn this season may not wear another jersey. It's the weight of expectation, the pursuit of perfection under constant national scrutiny. As preseason number 1, every mistake becomes magnified, every game a referendum on their legitimacy as champions. Rivals like South Carolina, UCLA, Texas, and LSU circle the title picture. But UConn's greatest obstacle remains internal, the quest to convert depth into dominance and potential into production. Auriemma's remarks after the exhibition reflected both optimism and realism. For the last couple of years, we had to play one way. If we're able to develop some of this depth, we can change how we play. The coming months will test that theory. The implications of this season stretch far beyond the win-loss column. For the program, a successful title defense would reaffirm UConn's position as the standard bearer in the women's college basketball, proof that the dynasty transcends any one player. For Geno Auriemma, it would mark a new chapter in a career already defined by reinvention, a demonstration that adaptation, not dominance alone, sustains greatness. For Azzi Fudd, a championship as team leader would close the arc of a career defined by resilience. And for Serah Strong, it could mark the birth of a new era, her rise from phenom to foundational figure, the face of UConn's next generation. As the Huskies prepare to open their season on November 4th in Germany, one truth defines the moment. This is not a rebuild. It's a recalibration. The Paige Bueckers era ended in triumph. The Serah Strong era begins in expectation. Between them lies the enduring constant, a culture that refuses to yield. The 2025-26 Connecticut Huskies are more than defending champions. They are the living continuation of a system that has redefined what dominance means in college basketball. Their success or failure will not simply answer whether a dynasty can survive transition, but whether it can evolve without losing the identity that made it untouchable in the first place. For Prime Field, this has been the new reign, UConn's post-Bueckers era.
Prime Field.